Podcast is scheduled for one fall. Coming in at 195 pounds from Studio A, he is the reigning, defending, undisputed host of the Ring of Thunder, Sexy Thor! What's up, Thunderverse? Well, this is awkward, because you know how I said the audio podcast was going away? We're just doing video from now on, because this reason, that reason, if I even gave a reason. Well, I swear back in July or August, I thought I canceled the Podbean account. I'm usually pretty good at canceling like the streaming services and ending free trials before it starts billing me and turning off auto pay and everything. Not so in this case. So yeah, and then so I went to go actually cancel the account for good, make sure it's, I just couldn't do it. Nah. So there we have it. Audio podcast is back on. And if this phone with its very, very limited memory doesn't stop shutting down on me while I'm trying to record, then we're just going back to audio for a good long while. So there you have it. And, you know, until I actually get a real camera. But hey, let's move on. And speaking of things that changed to something new and then was like, we're going to change to something back to being in the old way, but still kind of keeping something new. NXT. So they had their 1-year anniversary show last week. And then at the very end, there was like a video montage with Shawn Michaels saying something. And he was basically saying, fuck y'all, we back to black and gold, which really white and gold. And then they had their first show on that, and it was different-ish. I mean, I think we're going through a transition period just like NXT 2.0 did. Like back from the first episode all the way to War Games and New Year's Evil. You know, you didn't really feel the newness, really, in my opinion, till after New Year's Evil with the whole changing of the guard and everything. And I think that's what we're going to get from now to Halloween Havoc, which is coming October 22nd. There are rumors they would be calling it NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc, and they could, but right now it's just NXT Halloween Havoc. But at least it's gone from NXT's TV special to an actual premium live event on the Peacock. But something interesting happened at the very end before Shawn Michaels' little video message, and that was Carmelo Hayes. Fans voted on him on Wesley to challenge him. Mello and Trick injured him, so they were just like, well, just might well just call the bell. And then Solo Sikoa came out, who had just debuted on the main roster with the Bloodline at Clash at the Castle. He said he still had next. So they wrestled. Solo Sikoa won. Bloodline has even more gold. Right? Nope. Because even after he had won in a match that was allowed to go on and then went on SmackDown, a much bigger show, and defend the title against Madcap Moss at the beginning of NXT this week, Shawn Michaels was like, just kidding, give it back. It was under like, it wasn't sanctioned or something. It's like, kind of was. You had a ref and everything. And so Carmelo Hayes and some others who are doing a ladder match at Halloween Havoc are going to determine who the next North American champion is. So that was just a whole bunch of weird. Because it's like, imagine if you're just a Raw and SmackDown viewer, but the thing you're most interested in is the Bloodline and their dominance. Probably not out there, but humor me. You never know. If they just watch Raw and SmackDown, don't really care about NXT. Probably hasn't since early 2020. And you're like, oh, there's another cousin with some gold, and he's got NXT's belt. I'm curious to just, start watching NXT, see him dominate everybody defending that title just like his brothers and his cousin does. And then you turn on NXT the next day, and the first thing you see is Shawn Michaels being like, nope, give it back. Okay. Whatevs. We'll see where it all goes from here. It'll be interesting to see Roman's reaction to his youngest cousin showing up without the gold that he had last week. I mean, if Roman Reigns versus Shawn Michaels, no, not really, and it shouldn't. But I mean, prime Roman Reigns versus prime Shawn Michaels, yes. And so, where do we go from here? I don't know. But let's talk about that main roster and that beautiful sort of work Triple H has done. And in fact, I just want to focus on Exhibit A, or the one and only, the first little thing that we got that just showed that Triple H isn't playing around. And that's Damage Control. Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai. Well, the universe has corrected itself, and Kai and Sky are now WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And Bayley is going to be facing Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules next month. Which, you know what? I think enough time has passed and we've added enough new elements that even though that was like Bayley's last long-term feud before she got injured earlier last year and had to be out for a long-ass time, it still works somehow. But also because Bianca and Bayley are just that damn good that we can do it like that. Camera with push notifications, and it seems like we're also exploring something else about maybe a character change or evolution for Alexa Bliss. I know it's been happening a lot over the last 12 months, but this one, it's kind of confusing, but in a good way. Unpredictable, maybe that's the better word for it. Because, she's a good guy now who's all like decently rehabilitated in the mind after spooky time, but she still holds Lily, which Asuka babysitting Lily during her match is just, Asuka can do no wrong. And if you disagree, I don't know. But yeah, so Alexa took on Bayley in San Jose, which is Bayley's hometown, which the last time that happened was the kendo stick on a pole match where Alexa beat Bayley. Back when Bayley was the good guy, Alexa was the bad guy. I think it was at a Payback pay-per-view, and that was Alexa's first Raw Women's Championship win. First time winning the Raw Women's Championship, I should say. And so, of course, Alexa lost here. Of course, because there was damage control interference shenanigans. But commentary was talking about how, Alexa isn't the same as she was a few years ago. She's kind of a shell of what she used to be because she was the goddess and she was like fierce and she was going to do anything to win and she was just biting and rah. But she's not that right now. So I don't know if commentary's alluding to it, then. And this might be reading too much into things, but everybody else is reading it, so whatever. But the whole thing of the lights going out for like a millisecond during the match, I don't know, especially because on the horizon we have an entity that should be premiering on SmackDown this Friday at 9:23 with this, that's been alluded to by this QR code that showed you like a white rabbit playing a game of Hangman, and the question is, like, who killed the world? And the answer was, you did. And White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane has been playing during commercial breaks at shows and at live events. So who could it be? Everybody's leaning towards Bray Wyatt because, we all know it's not a matter of if, but when. And some people think it's like a Karrion Kross character change, which, very well could be. But when somebody brought it up on Twitter, Karrion actually responded to them, and he was just like, I'm so flattered that everybody, remembers, that part of my career. He said, keep watching, assume nothing. So I don't know. He acknowledged it, and acknowledged it pretty normally. Like, if it was for him, I don't think he would acknowledge it, especially like out of kayfabe like that. Because he just seemed like, I don't know what his real name is, but he just seemed like real person responding to somebody being like, wow, that's awesome that people remember that part of my career. So, I tend to, there's part of me that agrees with them, with the people who say Karrion Kross, because I don't want to get my hopes way too up for Bray Wyatt. But it's like, this might be it. This might be it. So we shall see. And then, so let's run down what we got for Extreme Rules so far. We got, of course, ran down Bayley versus Bianca. And we've got Liv versus Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It might be that time, but it's going to be an Extreme Rules match, so maybe they're doing that to help Liv retain, because Liv won cleanly over Shayna Baszler, so that's also interesting. But also Shayna could interfere, just team up with Ronda, and it's no disqualification, so there's nothing Liv can do about that except try to whack them with kendo sticks. Speaking of kendo sticks, saw Tommy Dreamer in line for butterbeer at Hogsmeade. Well, he wasn't ordering. Maybe he was ordering butterbeer. I don't know. But it was in the little Hogsmeade melting pot bar line where you can get drinks at World of Harry Potter at Universal. So I thought that was awesome. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So that one, like a lot of the Liv stands out there is just using this or saying, oh, yeah, this is it for Liv. It was a good run, but I say maybe. Not trying to get my hopes up, but whatever. Oh, and 1 second, because I'm going to grab a t-shirt. And am I going to edit that out? Hell no. But yeah, I got the t-shirt of Liv with the SmackDown Women's Championship. And it finally came in the mail after, I ordered it over a month ago, but I guess it was on pre-order. And I was really worried that Shayna was going to win at Clash of the Castle, and then this would be a little awkward. But, you know what? No, screw it. It's not, because it helps me remember Money in the Bank, which was probably the best day that I've had all summer. So, yeah, boo summer. It's the first official day of fall, people. Get over it. And then we got Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle in a fight pit, which Matt Riddle fought in the first fight pit down in NXT against Timothy Thatcher, of which he lost. So, and I think there was a second fight pit, but I think it was it Thatcher versus somebody else? I don't know. So that's it. Then Triple H announced earlier this week that Survivor Series won't just be a regular old brand versus brand thing. There will actually be storylines, and there's going to be a men's and women's war game matches. Oh, yes, sir. See, if you're going to be worried about NXT not going back to how the black and gold brand was, it's fine. The main roster is more black and gold brand than the gold and white brand, if that makes sense. So, and you know what? That's just fine with me. That is just fine with me. And then running down last night's AEW Dynamite Grand Slam real quick. My DVR had its weird little thing where it just doesn't record things, even though it says it's recording them. So, hadn't watched it yet, but I know everything that happened. Title changes galore. Chris Jericho's the new Ring of Honor World Champion. The Acclaimed are the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Toni Storm is still AEW Interim Women's Champion. Jon Moxley is the winner of the AEW World Championship tournament. So, yeah, because there was... because CM Punk and the Elite are cuckoo bananas. But all those title changes and everything don't mean a damn thing, because right after the women's match, they were teasing the whole, Jamie Hayter's going to turn on Britt Baker. No, just kidding. They're going to beat the shit out of Toni Storm together, which is the second time. So one more time and I'm going to have to be like, come on, bro. But then some really cool music hit, and who came out but Saraya, formerly known as WWE's Paige. That's why I'm wearing this shirt, in case you didn't figure it out. Yeah, she came in to the ring to like a ginormous pop, and she told Britt Baker this was her house. And yeah, we got the Saraya is All Elite graphic. And here we go. So yeah, that's everything so far, I suppose. I guess nothing. If this phone doesn't keep messing up with me, then YouTube will keep seeing me. But I guess the audio podcast is back on your podcatchers. So yeah, and follow Ring of Thunder on Instagram and Twitter. Even though really Instagram's just the main social media vessel that I use for it. Because it's like, why not? I like Instagram the best anyway. But that's just me. Definitely follow me on there. Twitter would also be appreciated. Facebook. Sure. And yeah, I guess there's nothing else to say, but thanks for locking up with me in the Ring of Thunder. Kick butts, not nuts.
Do you like podcasts?
Then you're gonna hate Thunder Talk.
Tasteless subject matter.
Mature humor.
Contempt for our co-hosts.
Unapologetic social views.
Edgy music.
And total irreverence for the nerd junk we love.
Are all reasons why
No one
should listen to Thunder Talk.
Find us on the ESO network.
And all podcasting platforms.
Or don't.
Whatever.